Before we start, answer this honestly. When a new Avatar movie releases, are you going for the story? Or are you going only for the theater experience? Because no matter how mixed the reactions are, Avatar is one franchise people must watch on the biggest screen possible. And I just walked out of the theater after watching Avatar Fire and Ash. So today we're breaking down what works, what feels mixed and what doesn't, without hype and without bias. Let's start with the most obvious part, the visual experience. 1. Positives. Visuals and world building. There is absolutely no confusion here. The biggest strength of the Avatar franchise has always been its visuals, and Fire and Ash does not dilute that identity even slightly. In fact, Avatar is one of the rare franchises where visuals don't just support the story. Sometimes, visuals are the story, and Fire and Ash fully follows that philosophy. Pandora comes alive on screen once again, but this time the world feels more dangerous, more volatile, and far more unpredictable. We're introduced to fire-based environments, volcanic terrains, burning skies, and aggressive natural elements that give the film a much darker visual tone compared to previous Avatar movies, and yet, it still feels completely authentic to the universe. While watching the film, you constantly feel this. This movie isn't made just for a screen, it's made for scale. The depth, motion, and world design are so immersive that at times, the environment itself pulls more attention than the dialogue. And no, that's not a weakness. That's Avatar's signature. Every frame shows insane detailing, whether it's flying sequences, land battles, or quiet emotional moments. Like every Avatar movie before it, Fire and Ash is technically flawless. 2. Action and scale. On an action level, this movie delivers some of the largest moments in the entire franchise. But these aren't just physical battles, they're ideological conflicts. Air, land, and water battles happen simultaneously, creating an epic sense of chaos. Yet you're never confused. And managing chaos at this scale with visual clarity is extremely rare in today's CGI-heavy cinema. You always understand who is where, what's at stake, and which moment actually matters. James Cameron deserves serious credit here. 3. The Fire Tribe, the big highlight. One of the strongest elements of Fire and Ash is the introduction of the Fire Tribe. This tribe represents an ideology completely opposite to other Na'vi cultures, where other tribes live in harmony with nature. The Fire Tribe has rejected nature entirely. Their anger, aggression, and violent worldview come directly from trauma and loss, and this feels fresh for the Avatar universe. For the first time, we see a Na'vi culture that is spiritually disconnected. Visually, they're intimidating. Their design, movement, and environment all scream danger. The movie clearly opens future narrative doors here, but doesn't fully walk through them yet. And that leads us to the mixed aspects. 4. Mixed feelings. Emotions and pacing. Emotionally, this is the heaviest Avatar movie so far. Themes like grief, anger, loss, and unresolved trauma are explored more deeply than before. The film shows that violence doesn't just come from external enemies, it often comes from internal emotional wounds. This is a mature direction for the franchise. However, a lot of the emotional backbone relies on family drama, parent-child distance, loss reshaping relationships, and generational trauma. For American audiences, these themes may hit harder, but for audiences who've grown up watching family drama, these beats can feel familiar and predictable. The runtime is another mixed experience. As long as Pandora feels visually new, the pacing works, but once locations and visual ideas start repeating, the length becomes noticeable. New tribes like the Fire Tribe and Wind Tribe are introduced, but not explored enough. The Wind Tribe especially feels more like a transition point than a fully developed culture, and that's disappointing. 5. Negatives, story and stagnation. This is where Avatar's old weakness returns. Despite being visually stunning, the storytelling doesn't take enough narrative risks. Several story beats feel repetitive: kidnappings, chase sequences, and rescue missions. We've seen this structure before, especially in The Way of Water. By the third act, it feels like we're watching a familiar story in a new visual background. The climax is technically impressive, but emotionally, it doesn't hit as hard, because audiences have seen this ending style already. This is the film's biggest missed opportunity. The visuals are top tier, but the story doesn't rise to match them. In 2009, this formula felt revolutionary. In today's cinema, where strong visuals are paired with bold storytelling, Avatar feels slightly outdated. Even though visual quality hasn't dropped, the sense of evolution is missing. Fire and Ash is impressive, but not more impressive than The Way of Water. The surprise factor is gone. 6. Final verdict and conclusion. So here's the honest conclusion. Avatar Fire and Ash is a visually grand, technically polished, and deeply immersive theater experience. If you watch Avatar movies for visuals, world building, and cinematic scale, this movie will not disappoint you. But storytelling-wise, it feels predictable and somewhat outdated. And the truth is, nobody watches Avatar expecting groundbreaking storytelling anymore. They watch it for the experience. The film proves that Avatar is still unbeatable visually. But if this franchise wants to reach the next level, future films will need not just better visuals, but bold, fresh storytelling choices. So let me know in the comments. Did Avatar Fire and Ash work for you? Or are you starting to feel franchise fatigue? hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications.